Hey listeners, you're listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. Grab some tea, a midnight snack, and cuddle up in bed as we dive deep into today's most popular fantasies, sci-fi, and mysteries. We're your hosts. I'm Lily.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Christy.
This season we'll be discussing the cultural phenomenon that influenced the entertainment industries for generations with its cult following. That's right, hold on tight, spider monkeys, we're headed to Forks.
When you can live forever, what do you live for? This podcast. You live for this podcast. Also, maybe the vampire who takes a shine to an innocent girl. Welcome to Sparkle High. Let's go.
In this episode, we'll be discussing Eclipse, chapters 6 through 11, where Edward takes up the hobby of playing prison warden, and yet another vampire has apparently taken an interest in Bella.
Before we get into it, this is your warning for major spoilers ahead. This includes potentially all Twilight materials, including the movies, interviews, and companion books. We're also avid fans of the Moss universe and might accidentally let spoilers slip for other popular romantasy book series as well. Sorry in advance, like the other seasons, this podcast is rated R, so be warned.
Also, a friendly reminder to please like, subscribe, and follow. You can find us on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and YouTube. You can also join our growing community on Patreon for bonus content and more.
Okay, well, last we left off, we had kind of opened up the book with a little bit of back and forth between Jacob and Edward and Bella, and she has reached back out to Jacob and she wants to be friends with him like she was when Edward was gone, and it's not working out the way she had hoped. Edward not only doesn't trust Jacob because he's a werewolf, he also probably is pretty jealous, even though he doesn't want to admit it to Bella. So we open up the first chapter right after she had kind of snuck out to see Jacob, avoiding Alice's vision, avoiding Edward because he was off hunting for the day, and she feels like she made the right decision going to see Jacob, I think, which I personally agree.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And the second she leaves La Push, who shows up behind her?
Most passive-aggressive tailgating I have ever witnessed.
Yeah, right.
Well, and her verbiage, she's all crap. I whimpered. The only people that whimpered are in abusive relationships.
Yes, let me walk on eggshells, and she's terrified to go home when she's at Angela's, and I'm like, if you're terrified to go home, if you're feeling like you're dreading talking to somebody to an extent that you
want
are,
your father around,
you want witnesses,
yeah.
You are
a buffer,
you are avoiding them. That is an indication. It's not always, but that is a massive indication of trouble in the relationship, especially
it's
abusive.
Like sleeping with the enemy. And then she calls herself a chicken for feeling that way.
I know. She kind of gaslights herself into thinking like it's not that big a deal. I don't know. I feel like I use gaslight loosely, and maybe we're playing it up a bit. I think sometimes it's easy to think, oh, well, he's upset, couples fight, but I just don't think, he's following her. The second she leaves, he's following her. That's not normal behavior.
No, if anything, we're playing it down. No, this is some sick shit. And the fact that he fucking blames her for it, that he asks her, do you know how close I came to crossing the line to blame her for him acting like a dumbass?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
This whole chapter pissed me off.
I put in the notes, I was like, this whole conversation where we aren't there yet, but that whole conversation, I was like, this gives a look at what you made me do vibe. And
yes. Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, we don't have to talk about really, she goes to Angela's house because she already had plans with Angela, but it also is a way that she gets around immediately facing him. And then we don't really have to discuss Angela as much. She kind of knows that what's going on with Edward.
I have one thing.
She's like, there's some tension there.
I have one thing that I need to say about Angela's.
Go for it.
Stephenie Meyer literally took the one Asian character and made him...
Yeah.
he's into badly dubbed foreign movies about martial arts.
I didn't catch that. How did I not catch that? Oh my God, you're so right.
Like, yes, there are many boys who are into that thing, or into that kind of thing. I watched when I was younger, I watched.
You love King Kong.
I do love King Kong.
I thought she was about to say for the Stray Kids that she's
Yeah.
No, I didn't discover Stray Kids until I was much older. No. But when I was younger, I watched Three Ninjas Kick Back, Karate Kid, all of that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but to put it on the one Asian character just seems
You're
so
right.
stereotypical. Yeah. And the other thing I wanted to say was, she was like, you're lucky Edward has brothers for all the hiking and camping. I don't know what I'd do if Ben didn't have Austin for all the guy stuff. As if guys don't have friends. And if a guy is going to share their interest with you, that's one thing. Because if they're going to share it with you because they want to do something they like with you, that's one thing. But you're not responsible for like, oh, my boyfriend wants to go hiking and I really don't want to go. But he needs somebody to go with. So I guess I'm duty bound to go.
Well, not just that, but making the assumption that a girl wouldn't want to do something like that. She's got very specific girl roles and boy roles.
Yeah,
like there's no crossover.
I was like, if the only thing that I can really say is guy stuff is if they're going to talk about prostate cancer or their penises, something that girls cannot talk about. Penis. But there are so many girls who play video games. There are so many girls who like hiking and camping and sports and all these outside things. And also, I include all video games and boy things, again, that Stephanie Meyer considers things that girls would not be interested in.
Fuck that. I love video games. And I think girls are so much better at video games.
Oh my God.
Difference. Yeah.
I don't know. Johan kicks my ass in Mario Kart, but I would never tell him that. Okay, so I agree with you. I did not catch on to the totally Asian stereotyping him at all, but I totally agree with you. I did not catch that. Another thing about the Angela scene is there's the last bit where it's not the Angela scene. Never mind. I was going to say there's a part in this section where she says, if Angela turned out to be a witch, she can join us too. Yes. And I was like, and thus sparks all of the witch controversy, like the conspiracy theories about Angela or her mom being a witch. I just think that's so funny. But
I think we also get Bella yet again being like, Angela's like, Edward's probably jealous. And Bella's like, it's not like that with Jacob.
It's not like that. Edward's more mature than that. Is probably what she's thinking.
He's not.
He's not.
He's really not.
And I love that Angela's like, he's just a boy like everybody else.
He's a human boy. He's a forever human boy. He will never be a man. Anyway.
I also think it was good of Angela to point out to her, like, Jacob is low-key in love with you, and everybody can tell.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that, Bella.
You're the only one. You're the only one who doesn't realize.
Just because you're ignoring it doesn't mean it's not real. But that being said, right after that, she gets home and she has to have this big fight with Edward, which we did start talking about. I agree with you guys that he is wrong to be like, this is what you made me do. However, I thought Bella standing up for herself in this moment.
Yeah.
Well, I was so happy to see that because at some point he was like, yeah, this isn't going to happen again. And she was like, that's right, because you're not going to do this again.
I also agree.
Good for her. I was
proud of her in this moment. The fact, I do like the fact that Bella, and she told this to Jacob last section, you're Jacob, you're Edward, I'm Bella. That's all that fucking matters. Like, I don't care if you don't like him.
Yeah.
He's my friend and I'm going to see him. The problem with it is that at the very end of this conversation, she says, no, I'm going to go see him. And he's like, okay. And then just completely disrespects her decision.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
With Alice, I hated Alice in this part so far. I fucking hate her.
Yes. So this is what I brought up episodes ago. Like I said that people say that she's not really Bella's friend for this reason.
Yeah.
Reading it again, I kind of have to agree. She did not give a fuck about Bella. Not one bit.
No.
In this scene. This is when, so she ends up getting picked up by Alice as a means of Alice keeping her busy for the whole weekend so she doesn't go back to La Push. And Edward is probably going to be like, oh, that's not why. But that's definitely why. And he promised Alice a Porsche in order to keep her busy.
Which is dumb
for the
because
weekend.
he already promised her that Porsche.
Yes.
It was like...
Also, why can't she buy the Porsche?
Exactly.
Right.
She's got just as much money.
That's my question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's going to sell out her friend for a fucking car.
Yeah.
Yes. And I also thought it was just really weird that at some point Alice was like, I'll give you like a pedicure. And Bella was like, I feel like she's reading off of a list. Where did she get... Does she have nothing better to do than to do like what she's seen in a movie?
She Googled how to be human girl.
Yeah.
I mean, in all fairness, she could have maybe remembered some of that from before, but...
she didn't have friends as a human.
I mean, the whole thing was just creepy and just how manipulative she was. And if you really listen to it, she's just as judgy about Jacob. She's just a lot more manipulative.
She is.
I think I actually appreciate and respect Rosalie's how she acted, because at least she is totally authentic and honest.
At least she is honest about her feelings, I have to say.
No.
Before we get to the Rosalie stuff, I do want to say, I want you guys' opinion on this, because talking about, Edward being jealous and not really wanting to admit that, I think if I was Bella and I was in this situation and he was my partner, and if he said to me, I just don't feel comfortable with you being around Jacob and I am a little jealous. But instead of trying to say like, you can't hang around him, instead of just saying, hey, can you just like maybe tell me when you're going, or like just be open about it. And I'm telling you that I'm not super comfortable about it, but I'm going to trust you. If he did that from the start and just kind of admitted to her how he felt, I think I would be okay with that. And also try to see Jacob less, not cut him out of my life, but in like respect for my partner, I would be like, okay, well, I don't have to be alone with him, or I don't have to be with him every weekend or something like that, because that's out of respect for my partner's feelings, but that I wouldn't like cut them out of my life. You know what I mean? I could maybe understand that.
Yeah.
You know me, when somebody tells me I can't do something, I'm going to do it anyway out of spite.
But what if,
like, I'm saying that
if they don't tell
if
you?
Edward didn't do that.
I don't know. I'm saying, so like the fact that he does that is just infuriating with me. Our relationship would have been over.
Yeah.
But yes, if he had been honest in saying like, I'm uncomfortable with this, I probably would not see him as much, but I would be more mindful of it.
Right.
And like I said, when somebody tells you, or you find out somebody has feelings for you, you treat them differently, and you kind of make sure that you're not presenting yourself as an option.
Right. Yeah. I agree with that. And Bella, I will say, does a little bit better in this section with that, because she's like, Jacob, you know that it's not like that, when he kind of is honest with her later.
Clearly he doesn't know.
But he's still making advances, and she's not totally shutting him down. So, I don't know. I was just thinking about that. I was like, man, if he had just said very clearly, like, I'm jealous because of your history, and maybe just, if you could keep that in mind. That's putting trust in Bella, and then she can do with that what she will.
I fully believe. Well, we can discuss more when we get to the conversation about Tanya too, but just because somebody likes you is not, I'm not going to,
it's not life shattering.
I'm not going to suddenly go, oh, what? That person likes me? See ya.
Yeah. Like, I'm never going to speak to you again. Yeah.
Well, if you look like that, you might. And especially when Edward is hard as a rock and not in a good way.
my God.
I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
You know, you got Jacob. It's like the warm and fuzzy muscles.
The most polite and not in a good way. Oh my God. But yeah, back to Bella's like involuntary stay at the Cullen
Before
house.
we move on to that, what do the Cullens have against dogs? Because they continuously say, "You smell like a dog." My dog smells like strawberries and blueberries. Thank you very much.
You're like, my dog smells like Fritos and I like it.
What? How did dogs get this? I know, probably homeless dogs, feral dogs, or whatever.
Hey, now they smell just
Yeah.
fine.
That's
That
I'm just
doggy
like,
smell is good. It's better than a marble fucking museum bathroom smell,
uh,
which is how I think the Cullens smell.
Right?
yeah. I'm just like, my dog smells amazing. Thank you very much. Of course, she gets a facial every month, but you know,
Your dog's pampered more than I am.
Holy
me
crap.
too. My parents
Would you like to
My
adopt
dog-
me?
my parents shell out that like she gets a spa treatment every month because of her. Yeah, no,
Lucky
I was
her.
like-
Fuck.
They never spent that much on me. Like,
I'm gonna show up to your house in a dog costume.
I can bark too.
we don't like barking in this
All right.
house. I'm sorry.
You're like, that's not the way to get in here.
No.
I did. So, Lily, you put Ben is adorable with Angela. Okay. What?
I don't know. That's how I talk, so that's how I wrote it down.
Because it was okay. I was like, because they were adorable.
I can-
Totally.
I can
Yeah.
hear you saying it.
Thank you. Like, okay. Like, Ben is adorable with Angela. Okay.
So cute.
Okay. That's just how I talk. So, like, I tend to type my notes the way that I would say them aloud. Same way for texting. Like, if you've ever texted me, if the listeners, mostly Rachel and Kirsten, but if you've ever texted me, I probably am texting the way I would have said it. Like, when I'm, putting things in caps, it's because I'm like, ah! Or like, Anyway, people get it. But back to Bella's involuntary stay at the Cullens.
I was kind of like, I was upset with Alice too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's hard to
when
read.
she tried to explain it with, "Oh, Edward just doesn't know you're safe." Is Edward trying to bubble wrap her? And he wants her to have this human life, but he doesn't want her to
a
actually.
little bit of a Tamlin move.
He doesn't actually want her to experience life. And
Mhm.
he's okay for her to die as a human, as long as it's when she's in like old age. But
Yeah.
she could have a heart attack or get hit by a car. And what if he's out hunting when she gets hit by the car? He ain't going to be able to be there and save her. Her whole life is a risk. Her whole life is a risk. Our lives are risks. You can die walking outside. You kind of live too.
I mean, I think what's crazier to me about it is he comes back having been gone for months and she was fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was fine
Mhm.
the whole
She
time. And
survived
who was she
without
with?
him.
Jacob.
Yeah.
And he can read their minds. He should know that the whole time she was there, she was safe. She was
Yeah.
fine. Aside from her trying to
As-
kill herself on the cliff.
No,
Wait,
she
wait,
tried to kill
wait,
herself
wait.
multiple times.
Edward can read his mind, correct?
Yes.
But that was the whole
Yeah.
problem that they can't, but Alice can't see them because of the werewolf thing. So how the hell can Edward hear them?
That's never explained.
Yeah.
But yes, he can hear Jacob's thoughts just fine and everyone else's.
Oh, I think they
Okey-doke.
did explain it somewhat of like, because they're so unpredictable and the shifting
that is a-
is
Shitty explanation they
the
give.
shifting is so spontaneous sometimes and whatnot that interferes.
That was one of Carlisle's
yeah,
theories.
interferes with
Yeah.
with her power. But since they're just thoughts,
With the sight.
then he can read their minds still.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
it doesn't
my
make any
God.
sense,
No.
Christy. Christy's like losing it. She's like, excuse me?
Well, Jasper can manipulate their emotions as well. It's literally, I think, only Alice's gift that doesn't work on the wolves.
her sight is more limited than it seems. She can't see the wolves. She has trouble seeing people she doesn't know well. She tends to be kind of limited. She's helpful if she knows you better, like if she has a close relationship. But other than that...
Then why do they trust her so much? If she sucks the bunnies at this, and it's like, I don't know. It's like fucking dial-up on AT, or not AT&T. What was the dial-up?
AOL.
AOL.
Which recently went out.
She's like AOL dial-up.
She's like 70-30, you know? Like 70% right, maybe? I don't know. Maybe even more than that, but it's just the context is sometimes missing in her sight.
Right, like Bella's dead, Bella's not dead.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the vital shit.
It's like a floppy disk. Sometimes that shit works.
What's a floppy disk? What are we talking about now? I feel like we're doing another conversation.
Alice's vision is a floppy disk. It would work one time and then, oh, sorry, you failed. You lost
Sounds
all
like
your
but okay.
You lost all your data.
Bella does
Also,
ask if I'm going back to the conversation.
Instead of our
Bella,
old people talk.
Motherfucker. I know. Hey, I had floppy disks too, okay?
Every time there's a jack off, it's going to be like you lost all your data.
Oh my god. I was like, and cue going back to the conversation. But Bella does ask Alice if she can call Jacob and inform him that she's not intentionally canceling.
He didn't specifically prohibit this, so I guess you can. What?
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. What else did he prohibit, do you think?
Leaving, breathing on her own.
Mm-hmm.
Being anywhere out of sight.
Sleeping outside of his room.
Do you think their house has running water?
Yeah. I think they want to give the illusion.
That's a good point. Because
if they don't have to shit, piss, drink, do they really need it?
Well, it'd be a novelty.
Yeah, you're right.
They also have a fully functioning kitchen, too.
Yeah, that's true.
But,
that's true.
Well, that would come with it, but maybe, I mean, like, I was just thinking about it.
Well, I think if she had done that to me, or if he had done that to me, I think what I would have done is when I got in his room, I would have taken a bunch of heavy shit and thrown it through his windows.
Oh my god. I think it's so funny that he bought her a bed. I also would have pettily slept on the couch.
Same. And
100%.
Oh, hell no.
I personally would not even be able to sleep in his room due to that glass wall. I need my blackout.
Yeah, that would freak me out.
Blackout curtains, and I'd sit there and be like, "Is there anybody in the trees watching me?" You know, I know that's a little paranoid, but still,
I would just run around naked in front of him and be like, "Jacob, come over."
You change clothes.
Oh my god. Yeah, like Jacob can get a free show if he just comes and watches.
I would leave my ass prints on the window, but I sure as hell would sleep in that nice comfy bed. I would not torture myself sitting on that or sleeping on that sofa.
No, I'm too petty for that. I definitely would have slept on the sofa.
Would have slept on the sofa.
I would have eaten in his bed like peanut butter or something.
I already have trouble sleeping in places that don't feel like mine. And so I would have been on that couch and I would have probably not slept at all. And yeah.
Now she gets ready for bed on the couch as opposed to the bed because she's still upset with Edward, which is so valid. And who knocks at the door but Rosalie? And we get finally the story of Rosalie's change, which we talked about it, I think, pretty deeply before, you know, how Rosalie was changed and how she ended up, I guess, I don't know if it's implied that she was raped and that she was left for dead by her fiance as well as 4 other men. And that Carlisle found her.
Not just left for dead. She says they specifically thought she was already dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
And my thing is, Rosalie says, you know, has Edward told you about my history? And Bella's like, yeah, he just told me that you went through what I almost went through in Port Angeles, only nobody was there to save you. And I was like, how very much like a guy to just boil it down to like,
Yeah.
And her pretending like Edward doesn't tell people secrets.
It was just, yeah.
It's just kind of,
Trivial
I did
thing that happened.
I did think that in this story, Rosalie is also really honest about how she killed them afterwards.
Yes.
I loved.
Mm-hmm.
And
I got so much respect for her. Got so much respect for her.
Yeah, and how she like tortured them.
Oh yeah.
Which I love.
Yes.
I was so happy to read that. And also just how honest she is. She's like, I was shallow. I thought that I could have anything I wanted, and that's what I wanted. I wanted a family. My dad and my fiance were going to give me everything. And I recognize now that I was shallow, but even still, that was the only thing I wanted, and it was taken from me.
I disagree with the was. She still is shallow. And I know y'all said that y'all thought Edward said this, and that Edward misinterpreted in a different episode, and I don't know which one, and I don't know your exact words, but she full on admits that she did not like Bella because Edward liked her and not Rosalie. And
but I would like to point out, though, that makes her not shallow.
She was upset with Bella.
Because she recognized that it was not good, and she recognized that she did it. Therefore, she is not shallow.
After a while, but when
it takes time.
When she first meets Bella, she is full on ready to kill her for being the love interest of someone she is not even interested in.
Mm-hmm. She grew.
I have a couple of thoughts on that. I think first and foremost that the only reason she didn't just want to kill her for that reason. And then two, I don't really think that's a problem. Rosalie is shallow, but she also has a lot of depth of character because she reflects on it.
I think it's not a problem if she didn't full on hate Bella at the beginning. Like, if you have those feelings, absolutely understandable. Everybody has those feelings. You look at celebrities and you're like, why the fuck can't I look like that? Oops. But to sit there and hate somebody just because?
I don't think she's right to do that, but I think it's so realistic and honest.
Mm-hmm.
I have been that person. I have full on disliked people for unnecessary reasons, and I do not see a problem with Rosalie's character. In fact, I think she's super relatable, and I would have definitely been her friend.
She is relatable.
But she also hated her because she wanted that time in Forks, and she was threatening that. Like her whole thing with Edward was threatening that. So she hated her for that reason too, like a legit reason.
Then hate Edward because it wasn't Bella's fault.
Well, yeah, but she's stuck with Edward. Bella's easier to kill. I mean,
So
my thing is, I think people...
Yes, in this instance.
My thing is, I think I have a soft spot for girls who are kind of mean because I feel like they, in a lot of ways, are treated unfairly in media. I don't really know. And also just like by other girls. I think that girls have a hard time navigating the world and giving grace to all of the different types of them, including the mean girls, is the only way I like to navigate now. I have so many friends that are like quote unquote mean girls, and it's because there's something on the inside that's not sitting. You know what I mean? Like they're like that on the outside because on the inside they're hurting somehow.
Yeah.
And so I can't really hate that kind of girl.
That, and I get that, and I don't necessarily hate them, but I just have a hard time. And I'm not going to say that I was never a mean girl, but I went to school with a bunch of really rich people, and I had a teacher as a mother, and so I wore hand-me-downs, and I got picked on quite a bit. And
oh, trust me, I have been super bullied by mean girls, and especially girls who thought they were better than me. And it's not that I necessarily think that all of them deserve a pass, but it's more like if I can have a conversation with you and realize that you're a little bit more underneath, then instantly I'm ready to give you the benefit of the doubt. I am not saying that someone who is a shitty person and is treating people shittily deserve to just have a pass.
And
so
I mean,
she was mean to Bella, but I like Rosalie.
I like Rosalie, especially from this point on where she actually tries. But at the beginning of the book, or at the beginning of the series, I don't like her.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
People that are shallow and mean are hard to like. But I think, I don't know, I just have like a softness for her because she has been through a lot and has like a really strong wall. You know what I mean? She doesn't want to be friends with people. She doesn't want to like what she's been forced into. She has that guard up instantly and wants to, push back immediately.
I guess I also don't understand. I mean, there has always been with Rosalie, I do not understand her vehemence about disliking being a vampire. I know you did have to give up stuff. You did. And it wasn't your choice to give up those things, but it wasn't like if you continued on, you would have gotten them anyway. It was either become a vampire or die. And she would have chosen to die. And I don't understand.
Well, I think to her being noticed is important. I think that's the part. And as a vampire, you're not supposed to be noticed.
Maybe. That's an interesting read on it. I think I was going to say, I wonder if it's more that it's not necessarily that she wanted to die. It's just that maybe it can hurt to live and realize what you still don't have.
I mean, I get that. Mm-hmm. I get that. But she got so much more than she would have gotten dead. She got Emmett
But that's a very like black and white way of looking at it. It's a complicated emotion.
I mean, okay, so I understand. I really do understand the concept of being denied something that you really, really want and being depressed about it. But
yeah.
I personally feel like you should be able to try to accept that, if I had chosen this path, I wouldn't have gotten what I wanted. And if I chose this path, I still didn't get what I wanted, but at least I got something else. And you can still be upset about not getting that thing. But to just be like, no, vampirism is awful because I didn't get what I want.
I don't think that that's what she's saying. I think that she is saying she's happy with what she's got. She's got Emmett and she's glad for that. But she still recognizes that a part of her is still upset that the choice was taken from her and she didn't have that opportunity.
I get that. Yeah. And she literally says to Bella, you are choosing wrong. And just because it is not the choice that Rosalie would have made doesn't mean it's wrong. And to me, that is telling that she thinks that her vampire life was the wrong decision. Not that it was her decision.
Maybe she does. But keep in mind, Bella has an opportunity that Rosalie didn't have because Rosalie was at the point it was death or vampire. But Bella has a point where she could still have the life that Rosalie always wanted. She could have
not the life
a loving husband.
Bella
she could have a baby. Well, it's not. It isn't. But I think for Rosalie, there's just such a sense of jealousy, but I don't think in a way that she's being mean about it per se, but I think it probably is highly emotional for her to talk about something like that without kind of losing it a bit on that aspect of it. But I think that's what it is. She's just recognizing that she has that opportunity to have what Rosalie wanted.
Yeah. It's not that she's telling Bella, you have to make this decision. She tells her to think about it and then says, this is how I feel about it. And I think that you could feel differently later down the road.
Necessarily, this is how I feel about it. It was, I want you to know what it's like, and you are choosing wrong.
But she's emotional.
I get that. If I were talking to my friends, and I know they're not friends, but if I were talking to my friends and they told me that my decision was wrong, that would influence my decision based on how they feel and not how I feel.
Yeah, because that's the whole point of her giving advice. Like, that's what she's trying to do is influence her.
That's not a good friend.
But she doesn't.
That is not a good friend.
That's not true. Your friends give you advice all the time.
But
I think that she's coming at it with her best interest in mind, and therefore there's nothing wrong with that.
Never have ever told me you are making the wrong decision, even when they should have.
I don't think what Rosalie is doing is wrong. I just do not think what she's doing is wrong. I don't think how she approached it was wrong. I just disagree.
It's more the attitude that she can't see what she has because she's so focused on what she lost.
I think it's just in this moment, though. I don't think she always is that way, but I think knowing that Bella has the decision to have the kind of life that she always wanted, I think that's why she's telling her these things. But I think in her everyday life, she's happy with Emmett and she has accepted what she is. But it's just seeing that she's got that decision. She could still have that it's, yeah, you know, maybe not the best for her to tell her that it's wrong, but I think it's triggering probably for her.
I think one of the reasons it doesn't bother me is she tells her this and then she moves on. Now, if she hounded her about it, that would be different to me. Like if she was going after Bella, consistently being like, the choice you're making is wrong. I can't allow you to do this. That would be going far beyond what a friend would do. You know what I mean? Like that's not a true friend. I think Rosalie, and Rosalie's not her friend also, I don't think. Mm-mm. But I think Rosalie had her best intentions when she was trying to tell Bella, like, hey, just don't rush into this decision. Here's my feelings on it. And I don't think you're making the right choice. And I don't think it's wrong for her to say that because she's not forcing Bella's hand in any way. Bella still gets to make the choice herself. And she makes a decision she wants. I think that the way Rosalie handled it is personally, I think it's fine.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Rosalie's attitude about her vampire life. Because she is so focused on what she lost. She can't appreciate what she's gained. And it comes across as that's her personality.
I will say, just to lighten the mood a little bit, I have a bit of a gripe with her story. Maybe it's ridiculous, but I did want to point out that I had a really hard time rereading her story briefly for a minute because she says that she's the daughter of a wealthy, well, she says middle class. She says well-off middle class, because which is a little confusing as well.
Her dad works at a bank.
Yeah. She said that she's a middle-class family that did well for themselves and always wanted better. And they kind of pimp her out to the Royce King family. It
reminded me of, what's Elizabeth's sister in Pride and Prejudice?
Oh yeah. What is her name? Fuck. Lizzie and Jane?
I think it's Jane. Maybe.
Is it Jane?
Know. Anyway, the one...
Someone's yelling the right name at us in the chat.
One that they were all like, oh, she's so beautiful. She'll bring us lots of, a big dowry and blah, blah, blah. And I was like...
Yeah.
Pimping her out.
That's Jane. Yeah.
Pimping her out.
Yeah, right? Like, they basically pimped her out. She got engaged to this guy whose parents owned the bank. And might I say, there is one sentence in the book that's like, yeah, they just happened to be one of the banks that happened to not have trouble with the Great Depression. But can I just say the unlikelihood of that? She died in 1933, which was the peak Great Depression. A third to one half of the banks in the U.S. collapsed. In March of 1933, FDR actually had a bank holiday where he shut down all of the banks in America so they would stop trading and doing stupid shit. And can I just say, I just was reading this and I was like, there's no way that a bank in Rochester, New York was just untouched by the Great Depression.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm sorry. They might have survived, but there's no way, honey. You just needed Rosalie to be 18 a little bit later or a little bit before 1933. I think that would have worked out better.
Although
I know I go on my history rants, but I was reading that and I was like,
although,
no.
she was super proud about all the men looking at her when she was 12.
I know. Oh my God.
I was like, ew.
Yeah, there's a lot of creepy stuff in there.
She's got some issues.
Well,
Rosalie's
even with Rosalie choosing Emmett because he looked like her friend's baby son. I mean,
oh my God.
Ew.
That passage is weird to read because in my head I was like, surely she doesn't mean what she just said.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Why you gotta make it
Let's-
creepy? Come on.
I'm going to choose to believe that she saved him because he reminded her of the baby and did not have any other intentions until later.
Maybe she imprinted on the baby.
Oh, no. No.
How old or how much later is Emmett turned into a vampire than Rosalie? What if?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
What if he
How cool
changed
would
his
that
name?
be? Creepy but cool. But his
Wait,
name
I
was
need
Henry.
to look up
Yeah, what if he
when
changed
he
his
was
name?
changed.
It could be his middle name. We don't know.
Henry Emmett.
He was changed 2 years later. 2 years later.
Okay.
Anyways, can I also point out, this is also a mini rant. In the section where she's telling the story about her backstory, there's these 4 guys that are with her fiance and they're all drunk on the street or whatever. And the guy that her fiance is talking to is this man named John. And he's from Atlanta, Georgia. And he's the skeevy one that's like, I don't know, I can't see how she looks
she's
under
too
all
covered
that
up.
clothing.
Can't see
And-
anything.
Disgusting. And then later, she also says that the Volturi had to clean up a bunch of newborn vampires in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm like, what has Stephanie Meyer got against Atlanta, Georgia?
Yeah. Not to mention, remember we discussed last episode that Volturi Air goes through the Atlanta airport.
Yes, it
The
goes
hub.
through Atlanta. I know. I thought of this because we were talking about that, and I was like, surely she must have some issue with Atlanta. Has she been through Atlanta and then got really angry about the airport? Because, like, I'm sorry about that girl.
I feel like she's mentioned Atlanta before at the beginning of Twilight.
She has.
Too.
Didn't they have to go through Atlanta when they had, whenever she was going to Italy or something?
Yeah,
or
that was the Volturi Air. But
was it on the way to Phoenix?
I feel
Yeah.
like when she was talking about maybe that was one of the destinations that she and her mom visited.
Or maybe she had to get a layover in Atlanta to go back down to Florida.
I don't know, but I feel like she's brought up Atlanta one time that we are not remembering. But what
I
if
agree.
it's like the only other city that? Because like I've only
wondering that.
only been to Chicago.
Yeah. I was like, is that the only Georgia city she knows?
Probably.
Maybe.
She's just like
She could have said anywhere for the newborn vampires. And again, we had Atlanta. And I was like, interesting. Interesting. Anyways, I'm done with my rant. So we discussed at length that Rosalie is kind of a bitch and is still not friends with Bella, but 2 of us forgive her for that.
I never said I have issues with her. Just
Yeah.
issues.
I know.
Doesn't mean that I don't appreciate her character. She's just not my favorite.
Well,
Who's your favorite?
I think
At this point, Angela.
right now, Angela.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant vampire wise. And I was like, oh my god, who is left to like? Oh, well, Emmett. Emmett could.
Emmett's great.
Yes, honestly, Emmett, fantastic character. We don't get to see enough
No.
of him, I
No.
think.
No.
But she wakes up the next morning and Alice takes her to school. And who shows up at school ready to break her free from jail?
I was like,
Jacob.
so this is the scene from the movie. Only in the movie, Edward
Yes.
is there and he's not in the book.
Right, yeah.
But also, I was like, Forks doesn't have truancy officers.
Oh, I mean, like, I used to skip all the time. Nobody was catching us.
Yeah,
Maybe
we.
I shouldn't say that on air.
My parents worked at the schools that I attended, so
I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm sorry. Me and a friend, because my high school is in a very walkable area, we used to, during lunchtime, just walk right out the back and then not come back.
yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, so she ends up in La Push. They're booking it so they can get to the territory border. She's like, go, go, go. And then she says, as she passes over the border, she's like, I feel free. And I'm like, how can you say that you feel free?
Uh-huh.
Free from your jailer boyfriend? Oh my God.
Yep. That should tell you something.
So in my head, this scene is playing with "Escape" by the Stray Kids. Just saying.
I I was thinking like Freebird, but yeah, that's good too.
Especially with Jacob there.
Yeah.
But how could they not catch them? I don't care how fast he drove. Aren't they faster?
They are, but she's also got to play human.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Fair. That makes sense.
But anyway, they go back to La Push and they have one of their classic beach walkie times.
In which they talk about imprinting yet again.
Yep. And we find out Quill has imprinted on Emily's niece,
Who's 2.
Claire.
Who's 2.
Who is 2 years old.
And then the way he describes it is so fucked up. Like, oh, she's going to have like the
really
best big brother ever. Are you? What?
Yeah. It's actually more fucked up reading it again later in life.
Okay, so I understand an age gap. I do. They are 15 years apart, I think it is, right?
Yeah.
But
maybe 13, because Jacob's age, he's like 16, 17. So anyway.
It's not the age gap though. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Both of my uncles are both double digits older than my aunts. And it works. Well, one of them works because they met as adults. They didn't grow up together.
It wasn't the guy seeing the small, tiny baby knowing that I'm going to get with you later. Like, that's...
It's the way that Jacob describes it on the page is like, he will be whatever she needs him to be, and then when she's old enough, he'll be ready and she'll be ready. And I'm like, are you fucking... That's the nastiest...
Well, to describe it as like her brother... If that's how she grows up, that this is her brother, then what?
It is like textbook grooming.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing I've read. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Awful.
At least Bella is as horrified as us because she's speechless in the moment. She's like, what?
And,
the fuck?
And I will say this, and it really irked me, but the audiobook really emphasized the her in Jacob's speech. And it made me, I was like, okay, so I guess what if a guy's gay and he's going to imprint on a girl?
Impossible, because wolves only imprint on the opposite sex because it's about procreation.
Exactly. And I'm like, so that, again, doesn't feel very consenting. And he's just going to suddenly develop feelings for a girl just because of this wolfy connection?
Yeah, and like, I think we discussed this before, but it's really gross that the imprinting seems to be tied to like the procreating thing, because... why else would they do that?
Yeah.
And that's so gross because the girl is just meant to, I just can't. What if she doesn't want to have babies? What if it doesn't have to be like that? Can she really say no? Because he was like, sure she can, but it's kind of hard to fight it. What do you mean it's hard to fight it, you nasty fuck?
Because the wolfy connection is like influencing her too.
Mm-hmm.
It's messed up. It's messed up.
Yeah,
it's like,
it is.
All I could think about, have you guys heard of that story of like the ballerina that she got married and she went viral on TikTok because her husband kind of treats her kind of shitty, and she went viral on TikTok. She used to be like a professional ballerina, and all she wanted to do was be a ballerina, and then she met her husband and he harassed her for like a month until she agreed to go on this trip with him, and then she was like stuck with him, and then they got married soon after, and now they have like 8 kids or something, and they live on a ranch because he convinced her to move out to the middle of nowhere, and she had to give up her whole fucking career.
What the fuck? Like,
and you can tell she looks sad in the videos.
Kidnapping.
Damn.
Yes, and it's like he wore her down. That's the thing. It's like over time he harassed her so much. He actually got his dad, who owned an airline. He got his dad to put them together next to each other on a flight that she was on, because he knew she was going to be on a flight because he was low-key stalking her. And then that's when he convinced her to be in a relationship with him. And now they're married and she's stuck in this weird relationship. That's what it makes me think of, is like, not only is it obviously scary because of the age, but the idea that over time you can be with someone so much, wear them down so much, that they really don't have the option to say no.
Right.
They really don't have the option to say no. It irks me so much. It
That's
bothers
sad.
me. I'll send you guys the article. It's like one of the worst things I've ever read.
Damn. That's pathetic, though. If that's how you have to get somebody is by doing that, then you are a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get someone that you can get that actually wants to be with you, because if,
It's gross.
There's in the book series, the spike coated book series that I like, that's also vampires. There's one character who's in love with the female main character, and he constantly is like pushing his feelings on her, even though she's in this relationship. I hate him so much. It is not attractive at all. I'm just like,
it's pathetic.
It's borderline, if not actual sexual harassment at this point.
Yeah.
And it just...
I also think, going back to the book, because I didn't mean to get us on a tangent. Sorry about that. But going back to the book... We
live off of tangents.
I also got really mad at Jacob for saying what he says to her later.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was really not happy with him.
It goes back to my, would you rather her be dead or alive? I'd rather you be dead. Do you really think that? You really think that?
Do you really think that? And I think he should have known. He knew what the answer was asking that question. And he says that himself. Like, he knew what she was going to say.
Yeah.
So why would he, as her friend, if he is really hell-bent on being her friend, why would he say something like that?
He just lost it. I think he just lost his temper because he does apologize for it. And he does tell her that he was wrong to say it. And he doesn't truly feel that way.
I don't know. Sometimes it's just like, this is where I understand why people have trouble with Jacob. I understand losing your cool. I have already given him grace on that. You know what I mean? But sometimes he says shit and I'm like, you just can't say that to people. You can't say you'd rather her die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Jacob trying to forcefully imprint on Bella.
Dude, he tried so hard. He was like staring at it, like, make it work.
Jedi mind trick.
Yeah. He was like, it's gonna work. Please.
If only that worked in real life. But no, and
blinks a couple times. Maybe if I look again.
But it was funny because, like, she is asking, has it happened to you yet? Do you think it ever will? And he was blatantly like, no, it'll never happen for me because all I see is you. And I wanted to be like, dude,
I wish it never happened for you.
He needs to move on. And not with...
One day it will pass,
not
Brittany.
With Ratchety. Not with Ratchety Ann.
No.
But also somebody who he doesn't say things like, I'd rather you die.
Yeah, I think he should, at this point, know that there is a limit to that what he can talk to her about, in terms of the vampire thing, because it will upset him.
And I say all I see is Felix right now. And that has happened with every crush that I've ever had, is like, I get focused on one person and that's all I can see. And I can't see anybody else.
I agree.
So I understand it, but also I just want him to move on.
I want him to move on for him.
Yeah.
Because I want him to be happy. I hate where it goes after this, but yeah.
Also, I pointed out in the notes that literally in New Moon, Edward's being an ass and Jacob is being wonderful. And then when she gets Edward back, Jacob is an ass. And then at the beginning of this book, Edward is being an ass and Jacob is being not wonderful, but decent. Like, he's
pretty awesome, yeah.
And then now he's being an ass, and then all of a sudden Edward becomes understanding, and I'm like,
all of a sudden very understanding.
Can they both be nice at once? It's either one's an ass or the other's an ass, or they're both an ass.
Jacob just had a short ass period. Like, his is much shorter. It hasn't spanned 3 books like Edward's. It's a short ass.
Oh, it will.
Oh,
it will.
That's what I was about to ask, if it gets worse.
Yeah.
It doesn't get better.
But it felt like it was going to. Like, they start to work together. Don't shatter my dreams.
He's not worth attaching yourself to. I'm just saying.
Unfortunately, he's not. And as someone who did, trust my feelings, there is a passage at the end of this book that I fear may totally take you out of it. We'll get there. But there is one passage in particular that I don't think you can forgive him.
I can like and root for.
Maybe Seth, because he's a sweetheart.
Seth is a
that's right.
sweetheart.
I forgot about Seth. Okay.
But he's also, what, 13?
I just have to have one.
Yeah, you could, but I mean, like, I don't mean you can like him. I just mean, like, maybe he can be, like, your favorite wolf character.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Well, I mean...
Or Embry. I like
since
Embry.
you like Rosalie so much, y'all could like Leia.
Leah?
Whatever her name is.
Okay, I was
like, wait, who?
Sorry, though.
I mean, I do kind of like
my
Leah.
Star Wars coming out.
Well, she hasn't been in it that much. But she's the one that the next book is about, right?
Maybe.
No, she's a lot in the next.
No. The next one, she's going to write.
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
Okay.
I haven't seen Stephanie Meyer say that from her own mouth. Other people have said that they did.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
Yeah. At the Twilight convention, other people went, but I did not.
And she said that they did not record her.
Makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, you may change your mind pretty fast when we get there.
Damn.
But also earlier I asked Johan how he felt about the name Embry, and he was like, Embry. And then he goes, embryo. And I was like, no. I was like, how did you so quickly fuck up that name for me?
Oh my God.
Damn. He does that with all the names that I like. Oh my gosh. I can't.
Oh my God. When my aunt was about to get married, when my aunt was about to get married, she was like, so, Andy thinks these names are good. What do you think of them? And every single one of them, I was like, I'm picturing a cow right now. That's what they're like Betsy.
A cow?
And,
oh no.
They were all names of cows in my head. And I was like, I'm sorry. Please don't name your kids those.
I really loved the name Gabriel for a long time. And he doesn't like it because he's like, some kid's gonna, tease him for being gay or whatever. And I was like, man, you're right. But also, who cares? Like, I can't have anything.
Gabby?
Yeah, Gabby. Anyways, but so she rushes home because she's upset at what Jacob said, and she rushes. She wakes
to the
up.
Cullen's house, not home.
Oh, you're right. My bad. I didn't mean to say that. She rushes back to the Cullen's house because she's like, fuck you, and she wakes up in
Edward's arms.
Well, does she wake up or does he just show up? No, I think she wakes up. I guess
he moved her from the couch to the bed.
Yeah. Okay, I have to be honest with y'all. I actually really liked this scene. I'm sorry.
I'm
a traitor.
I enjoyed it, except for the part where he was like, I'm gonna kiss you and touch you, and then, why are you always pushing yourself on me?
Yeah. This scene really brought me back to like middle school, because I remember really loving when he was like this in the books, Edward, because I really liked Edward in middle school when I first read the books. And I also liked that he was like, no, I'm going to be okay with it. Like, he changes his mind about the Jacob thing.
Which I would have found suspicious. Very,
right?
Very suspicious.
Oh, yeah. As an adult, 100%. But 13, 14-year-old Lily, I don't know how old, was just like, that sounds great. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, good. That now we can all be happy together. But no, yeah, reading it, I would have been very suspicious as well.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny when he was like, I want to kill him for saying that to you, if I'm being honest. And
fair.
She was like, well, I'm glad you have so much self-control. And he was like, I could slip.
Well, I thought it was shitty in the first place that first she tells Jacob about being held prisoner. And then she tells Edward about what he said. I mean, it's like, are you trying to get them both killed? Because you're saying shit that's going to make them react to the other one. I mean,
True.
Come on.
Would have kept those details to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have as well. But he does like messing with her. I also thought that it was funny that she asks about Tanya. She asks about whoever is up in the Denali clan.
All those women.
And yeah, all those women up in Alaska. And he was like, I prefer brunettes. And I was like, Stephanie Meyer wrote that for her. She wrote that for herself.
She did.
Mm-hmm.
She did. She absolutely did. But going back to what I was saying at the beginning with Jacob and Edward and jealousy and whatnot, I was just like,
Yeah.
Bella, he has literally been around these women for what? At least 50, 60, 70 years, probably
Long
up to
time.
100 years.
Yeah.
We don't know how long that they've known each other, but he's never once shown interest in Tanya. Never once.
And not Rosalie
And not
either.
Rosalie.
Like, who's supposedly the most beautiful person ever existing.
And not anybody else except for you. And now you're sitting there like, oh, well, Tanya likes him. So, like, I don't like that. Like, he's going to sit there and be like, oh, now that I'm dating somebody, I realize that who I really want is Tanya because she shows interest in me. So, see ya.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a silly thing, but also, like, I don't know. Bella, I would say Bella does a good job not blowing it out of control, maybe, or blowing it out of proportion.
Yeah.
It's a trust issue, though.
He
does not trust her.
It is.
He does not trust her.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. She was just like, okay, I guess it's all right. And then he's like, don't worry, I like brunettes.
Yes, brunettes like Stephanie Meyer. And, we must point out that Tanya is yet another blonde.
Yes, there are a lot of blondes in the series that apparently suck.
That nobody likes.
Not that Tanya doesn't, or they don't say Tanya sucks. It's just, he prefers the brunette over a blonde. Definitely.
Yeah. Now, Jacob calls and leaves a message on the Swan residence home phone.
So disappointed in Charlie.
Yes, Charlie, I need you to shut the fuck up. Charlie tells her, give Jacob a break.
Forgiveness
call him
is
back.
divine.
But
did he know what he said?
I'm sure he
I
doesn't
don't think he
care.
did.
Exactly.
I'm sure he doesn't care. He's too busy
But
playing
that's the
matchmaker because he wants Jacob rather than Edward.
He does, because Edward keeps getting her almost killed. But I honestly think if Charlie knew what he said, his reaction would have been different. I think he would have been at La Push yelling at, Jacob.
I agree, but that's what makes it worse because Charlie, butt the fuck out. Butt out of this conversation.
Stephanie Myers has literally just gutted his character. And he wasn't the best.
He's not so bad.
He wasn't the best character to begin with, but at least he...
Fucking done. He's done.
No.
He tried in the beginning, and he, could make his own meals and knew how to work a microwave, and he could do his own damn laundry. And...
In this chapter, she pulls his laundry off his bed and starts doing the laundry. I'm like, girl, why are you doing all of his what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
And I'm just like, he is a grown-ass man who has lived by himself for years before Bella came along. And now, like, in Twilight, they were like two adults living in the same house, almost.
Yeah.
And now it's like, Bella had to take that role with her mom and take care of her mom. And now Charlie can't take care of himself for a damn.
Yeah, a fucking day, a week. I do think he repeatedly tells her, Jacob called again, Jacob called. And I love that her response is, well, if Jacob preferred me dead, then maybe he should get used to the silence.
That is an excellent line. I love it.
Listen, I love Jacob. I do love him. But good for Bella. Good for Bella for having a little bit of a backbone and being like, you know what? He can wait like an hour or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let him stew.
I did like Bella in this a little bit more.
Let him stew. I wish he let Edward stew a little bit more too. She immediately forgave him.
I also wanted to point that out, that she said while she was with Alice, she left a voicemail for Edward and was like, you are in so much trouble when you
Grizzly
get back.
bears are going to be tame compared to the lashing you're getting when you come home.
And then the second he snuggles her, she's like, everything's fine. I forgive you. And I'm like, girl,
well, by then Jacob had pissed her off.
Yeah, that's true too.
She was like,
Yeah, she was more mad at Jacob in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was a little proud of Bella for being a little bit more forward this time around instead of just letting them do whatever.
I mean, to be fair though, she did, they had that Switzerland conversation. She said, I'm putting my foot down, and he like I said, he accepted it and then didn't respect her decision at all.
Yes. Yeah.
And she just went,
yeah. I'm trying to give Bella a little bit, though. Like, you know, she does stand up to Edward and be like, you're not going to do that shit again. And he does. And she leaves him a voicemail like, you can't fucking keep doing this. And she sneaks out.
she does do that.
And she does make some efforts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree that she's not fully there, you know, standing up for herself. But she's making some effort.
Oh, I will say this too about the cuddling scene. Him singing her to sleep, that is one of my favorite things.
Oh my God, I thought it was so cheesy.
I'm sorry. But no, I used to have not a very great boyfriend, but a boyfriend who would call and just sing me to sleep. And so it's a great memory for me.
That's really sweet. I never had anyone sing me to sleep, so maybe I would like it if somebody did.
I will say, if you think about it in just in the idea of somebody singing you to sleep, it does sound cheesy, but in the moment,
it's not bad.
It's really sweet.
I am not a big fan of it.
I mean,
I don't like.
To each their own.
Yeah, I mean, I like listening to like singers and stuff like that, but when other people sing, depending on the situation, I don't know. For some reason, it makes me want to like punch them.
I think it would depend on the person. Yeah.
Yes. If it were Johan doing that, then I think I could forgive it. But if it were any previous boyfriend, I would get secondhand embarrassment. Like I'd be like, oh, this is so embarrassing.
If Travis was
would not be able to
me
do
at night, I think I would be like, shut it.
Oh my God.
I mean, I wouldn't want it every night, but you know.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
I don't know why.
I'm
It's like
sorry.
an auditory kind of thing for me for some reason. Like if it's something I have an expectation of hearing, like some sort of soundtrack or something. But if I don't have an expectation of hearing it for some reason, it's like an auditory.
I mean,
Yeah.
I do go to sleep listening to books or, you know, lately music.
But anyway, so one of the good things that comes out of Edward's sudden acceptance of Jacob is they end up finding that someone has been in the Swan
Stealing
house
her
while Bella has been
her
gone.
clothes. I would be so pissed if my clothes went missing.
Multiple and a pillow.
Like I have like 15 pillows on my bed, you know. But I have one pillow that is mine that I take with me when I travel I need that pillow to sleep. If that pillow went missing, the chaos that would be like that would cause.
If my Stitch pillow pet went missing, I would kill somebody. Okay? I get it.
But yeah, and I do have emotional attachment to some of my clothes. And if they
fair.
were to go missing,
Yeah.
especially if you can't buy them anymore,
Instant crash out. But yeah, they find out that someone's been in there, and Edward's like, first and foremost, Edward searches around trying to get the scent, and then she decides to call Jacob back, and after he apologizes, which, good for him for apologizing at least, Edward's like, let me speak to Jacob.
She's like,
and
do
then
you mind
they end up
speaking
having
to
this.
Edward? If I were Jacob,
Yeah,
I'd be
he's like, this should be interesting. But they come to a truce.
They do, which they should.
They come to a truce. Yeah. Which, thank God, because, like, that's one of the best things about this book is the wolves and the vampires working together. I think.
I mean, a little bit in the next book as well. It's one of the few things that I liked about it.
Yeah. And so they make an agreement. Edward agrees that he'll leave for 10 minutes so that Jacob can come in and get the scent of the place and also them not fight each other, I guess. Edward gives her a hug before he leaves and like nuzzles his face into her neck because he knew that Jacob would try to hug her and then smell him there. And I was like, oh, the territory marking is happening.
God.
Oh my gosh. Which personally I kind of love, but it's a problem on my end, and I recognize it.
Well, I mean, okay, so one of my favorite things as well was wearing a boyfriend's hoodie or sweatshirt.
Yes. Yes.
It felt like carrying home with me. I don't know.
I love smelling a guy's hoodie or the clothes that they wear, and then it smells like them. Oh my God. Best feeling.
Best.
Yes. So, and also I am, stupid like that. So I totally loved that Edward did that.
Doesn't he go home and yell at Alice first, though? Or is that after Jacob visits?
I honestly don't recall that.
You don't recall him going home and yelling at Alice?
No.
Yeah, he gets mad because
he was
she
a
didn't see it
bitch to
coming.
her.
Well, you know what? If she's going to use that shit to fucking tattletale on Bella, then I am glad he is reaming her for her fucked up use of her so-called talent.
Wait, why can't I remember this? Somebody tell me what happened.
He goes home and he yells at Alice for not seeing the mystery vampire come into Bella's home. And they were like, well, it's because he very specifically did it when Bella wasn't home, so she wasn't in danger. He didn't try to kill Charlie.
But that's so stupid. She was in danger.
She was at the Cullens' house. How could she have been in danger?
I get that, but his final intent is for her to be in danger. If he's going back and telling the Volturi, or if it's Victoria,
she wasn't in immediate danger.
It's also the fact that she doesn't know him, and I don't know if he's made a final decision about how he's going to come after her, and that's what we find out later. It is Victoria who made these new vampires, and she's sending them.
Right.
And that's her whole plan, is to put him in charge of the planning. And for him, and for him to make decisions along the way to circumvent Alice.
Right. Right. And she apparently has a hard time seeing people she just doesn't know. So it's like a, I don't know, 50-50, I guess.
I just thought he was an ass for, how dare you not see this coming?
Okay, but
I kind of agree. He was a little bit of an ass.
It's odd that she wouldn't see it on Bella's side, just because that means like a serial killer that doesn't know Bella could easily come in and kill her without Alice knowing, because Alice wouldn't see it because his decision making wouldn't be, I don't know. It's just odd.
She would see it as soon as he made the decision to kill her. But
in theory.
Yeah, but she doesn't know him.
But
it
involves Bella. She said if he had actually been there and intended to hurt Bella, she would have seen it. But since she was not there. I think,
again, that's in theory.
I know.
Yeah.
But she says that since Bella was not there and he didn't intend to hurt her or Charlie, then that's why she couldn't see it.
Yeah, but if Charlie had walked in on him, would he have? I don't know. And I get the intent has to be there, but it just, the decision. It just doesn't fit very well together.
It's kind of like when we were reading Zodiac Academy and Gabby only saw things that were significant later, or when they didn't help the plot or something.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It feels like that, but Alice seems to have a better track record, I will say. But yeah, no, I think that's before the thing with Edward and Jacob, right?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah. But Jacob comes into the house, he gets the scent, he talks to Bella, he teases her. He grips a knife without thinking really hard.
He gets mad.
And and wait, what does he get mad about?
Something to do with Edward, probably.
Something, he asks, like, what's it like having a vampire boyfriend? And she's like, it's great.
Okay. He asked, what's it like, or have y'all ever kissed? And I was like, does anybody else get the feeling that kiss is not what he wanted to ask? And she was like, yeah. And he was like, ew, you're kissing like a vampire? And she's what
like,
about his fangs?
He grips the knife and cuts open his hand, and she doesn't pass out. And I'm like, inconsistent.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I get a little woozy, but I mean, a finger prick. Again, in book 1, a finger prick made you pass out. Like a drop of blood. He literally slices his hand open where you're cleaning blood off the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jacob has the gall to be like, you're cleaning up my blood like right away? Are you OCD or something? Because
that really pissed me off.
Cleaning up blood right away means you're OCD? I think that's called responsibility.
Well, it's this blood. What do you want me to just leave it there?
Well, not just that, but the fact that you're taking something that is such a major
issue,
a major disease, and then you're making it into this funny, quirky habit. It really pisses me off because that's an incredibly difficult thing to navigate.
And it's very much like diabetes, where everybody has this idea of what diabetes is like because, type 2 diabetes is about, eating too much, which it's not.
Yeah.
And so there's this idea collectively of what diabetes is. And I feel like there's that same collective idea about what OCD is. It's like, ooh, you have to have everything straight and in a specific order. And you're a germ freak and blah, blah, blah.
Well, they use it as like type A. And it's like, and I hate when people I just want to just fucking punch them when they're like, oh, I'm a little bit OCD. And you're just, I don't know. I just want to be like,
oh,
what the
really?
fuck? Yeah.
Oh, really?
People kill themselves over this. This is...
Because people totally pretend like it's not an issue.
No,
undermine
it's
it.
A stereotype that has been like you're a germaphobe. You must be OCD.
Yeah.
Ooh, you're particular. You must be OCD.
Absolutely nothing to do with it. Same thing with straightening. But it just, that really pissed me off when I saw that.
I completely understand that. I feel the same way about the OCD projection or collective thought about what OCD is, but also the collective thought about what diabetes is. And it's infuriating.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if I told you, Lily, but I actually did read that book with the diabetic character. I tried to, at least.
Oh yeah.
It was
not good.
It was
no.
It was used as a plot device where she's like, "Oh, I'm feeling faint every 2 seconds. Oh, I must eat. Oh, but I'm captured now, and there.
Oh, I don't like that.
Now I'm feeling faint, and I'm gonna. Oh, it was." Mm-hmm. Especially when you compared it to Fourth Wing and how wonderfully that is handled. It was so disappointing. The entire time I was listening to the book, all I could think was I could be listening to actual things I want to listen to right now. And I didn't finish it. I felt
I get that.
Horrible about it. I hated it. It's a popular book,
I'm sorry, it sucked. Ugh, I hate that. I don't know how to segue back into the book after that.
Anyways, there you go.
Anyways,
they decide to work together.
Yes, Jacob. Oh, and she sees how fast he heals his hand, which is like instantaneous.
They discussed that already.
Yeah.
Well, I need to take you to the hospital right now. He literally said in the last book that he can't go to the hospital because he has 108 temperature. And he would be dead.
Yeah. But after this, they decide they're going to work together. Edward comes back in and he updates her about the Seattle vampires still being around. And they decide that they're going to have to look into it. She finds out that Jasper is somewhat of an expert on young vampires, quote unquote, which is not elaborated on yet. But Jacob had asked her to go to the bonfire while he was there, and Edward tells her, "You don't need my permission to go to the bonfire."
Since when? Mm-hmm. Since when don't I need your permission?
And she's like, "Really? What?" Yeah. And this is where we have the drop-off scene between them, where in the movie, he's just like shirtless there. And Edward's like, does he ever wear clothes?
And she actually says that to him when he shows up at her house. She's like, don't you ever wear clothes?
Yeah. Although she decides that she's going to take her motorcycle back because they have this conversation about how Edward bought himself a motorcycle so that they could ride together. And then she doesn't know how to turn him down, I feel, because she's like, And then he's like, okay, I see this is something that you do with Jacob only.
Yeah.
But he bought her a helmet and a riding jacket. And then says she looks sexy in it. Which I was like, what?
So, I don't know what kind of helmet this is. But the motorcycle helmets that I've seen are literally like full on, you can't see a damn thing. So if she...
He was talking about the jacket.
So I'm like, if you cover her face, she's sexy.
He said he likes the jacket when he's dropping her off.
But when she's wearing the helmet and the jacket in his garage, he calls her sexy.
Yeah.
Because her face is covered up.
Oh my God.
Y'all are terrible.
What do you mean, y'all? I didn't say anything.
It's always y'all. It's you two.
Just because there's trouble doesn't mean it's both of us. I could be acting good for once.
You're like, maybe I didn't think that one time. But yeah, when he drops her off, it's like, even she's like, I feel like my dad is dropping me off with my mom. And I felt like when he was putting the jacket on her and putting the helmet on, that it was like a dad prepping his toddler to like ride on a bike for the first time, like zipping her up and like, you know, like, here you go,
let's
honey.
wrap you in some bubble, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now just remember that you can just hold on to the handlebars and keep your balance, and I'll hold the back of it.
And remember, Daddy loves you.
And Daddy loves you.
Okay, so going into the next chapter, I do want to say I'm not going to go over the stories that are told at the bonfire with Jacob and the whole pack. We can talk about the scene, but I'm not going to relay the entire story because that's not necessary. And also, it's a couple stories and it's kind of complicated. So I'd say if you don't remember it, just go reread it. And if it's necessary, we'll bring it up later, you know, as part of understanding the book. But she gets to the bonfire and the werewolves welcome her. Embry's like, "Vampire girl, what's up?" Which I thought was really cute. And Quill greets her with a little kiss on the cheek.
And she gets to meet Kim for the first time.
Yes, Kim is the girl that Jared imprints on and the only one that is actually of age.
Yeah. And it's really fucked up the way she describes her. She's plain.
I have some thoughts.
She's plain, but then I realized how much Jared likes her, so she became special because a boy likes her.
So the babies
It does
are
feel that way
hot,
when you read it.
and the older girls are not. That is just creepy.
Nobody said the babies are hot. Nobody said the babies are hot.
We got two brothers / future boyfriends in there.
I know. It's gross.
Mhm.
But so yeah, Bella sees Kim, and this is how she describes her. I think we're supposed to assume that she is Quiute because she later describes her with russet-colored skin and dark hair.
She went to school with him, right? So yeah,
so assuming it's in the community's land where she's going to school. But this is how she describes her. She says, she had a wide face, mostly cheekbones, with eyes too small to balance them out. Her nose and mouth were both too broad for traditional beauty. Her flat black hair was thin and wispy in the wind that never seemed to let up atop the cliff. I feel like that is so rude.
it is.
Girl.
Mhm.
Bella is very judgmental of people's looks.
Yeah.
I just have to say.
She is. It's all about looks for her. All
Yeah,
about looks.
that's all that matters.
Also, what is traditional beauty? You know what I mean? Like,
White.
she clearly, yes, it clearly is based on a European model, and a particular type of European model. I just hated reading it. I know that later she's like, well, after seeing Jared look at her
admire
with
her,
such
yeah.
fondness,
She
then she says,
then she's now pretty-ish.
yeah. Then she says her skin looked like russet-colored silk in the firelight, how the shape of her lips were a perfect double curve, how white her teeth were against them, how long her eyelashes were, brushing her cheek when she looked down. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate that she then found the beauty in this girl, but damn, what the fuck is the point of this?
Yeah.
What is the point of this?
Yeah.
That men make women beautiful, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
It's such an interesting passage because you could have said Kim at first seemed to be shy and plain, but I was wrong. She's actually very interesting. I liked talking to her. Like, it could be 1,000 different things that had any kind of point. I don't even feel like there's a point to this passage besides pointing out that she doesn't think that this girl is beautiful. And for her, it's not a good reason for Jared to have imprinted on her. She's like, how could she must be working out in her mind, like, I don't see what he sees in this girl, Kim, but looking at them, they look really happy together. So what do I know?
It's all about looks for her.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. We know that's true because of how she, I mean, that's how she talks about Edward.
Yeah.
So
it's never, he's so kind and sweet, and oh my God, he's so loving and whatnot. It's, oh my God, he's so hot.
Yeah. But after that, they do get the stories. There's a couple stories that are relayed in the bonfire, and it is clear that they are very important stories. She's lucky to be invited in.
She is.
To listen.
She is.
And we also see that Leah and Seth are there as well, which is interesting because they are not a part of the pack.
And Susan, or is it Susan Clearwater? Sue Clearwater has now taken Harry's place.
Yes.
Although, what if they are part of the pack and we just haven't been told yet? Because
that's possible.
Jacob does trip over that number that he gives.
True. That's true. So they could be initiated or maybe on the way to be initiated soon. So that could be why they're included. But there is one thing I wanted to address. Christy, you were kind of wondering about the history of it.
Yeah, I was questioning how historically accurate were those stories. And not just in a sense from the Quiute tribe, but just an overall, because I feel like the picture that she paints is just that, like, a violent savage is really what she paints. And I feel like that was not an accurate portrait of Native Americans overall. And I'm not, again, not just the tribe, but I
think it's very stereotypical.
I'm just curious what you thought about that.
Again.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I think, especially after the passage about Kim, it's just interesting how Stephenie Meyer doesn't see that her prejudices are coming out on the page. I think in book 4, we'll see even more that she really plays up the stereotypes and doesn't have a good way of representing them. What I did want to mention briefly for the listeners and just for us is, like, we've talked a little bit about the Quiute tribe's stories, and they have said that they feel that Stephenie Meyer misrepresented them, and they were kind of put in the limelight without nobody paid them any, mind. Like, they didn't want to be thrust into this limelight, and she has not given any care to them since the success of the books and the movies. So there's that. I also want to say, I could say what's on the website and, like, read it, but I don't want to speak on the behalf of the Quiute tribe, and going forward, I want people to remember that I believe they called themselves a tribe, but when it comes to an indigenous community, use the terms that they use. Not all of them are tribes. Let them tell their own stories, and if they don't want to tell them, that's up to them. And I think they're pretty enclosed about their beliefs and their practices, and that is okay, and we should be happy with that. So I say, if anyone wants to know, like, the real history of it, I would, do your best to get it from the source. I think that they do events and they speak to people on the community land, and they do talk to people, but I think that you have to show the effort, and we just don't want to speak on behalf of the tribe. So as far as the history goes, we won't go out of our way to impart anything about their community because that's not for us to say. But I definitely say, if anyone's interested, go to their website and check out what they have to say about their own events in their own community, and definitely support them, for however we can. We want to support them. So it's difficult working to try and be as respectful as possible for communities that have continuously been taken advantage of. Yeah. Yes, taken advantage of and colonized in their own way. It's sad because what Stephenie Meyer has done has brought us a great story in some ways. Like, we love the Twilight books and movies in a way, as a culture, but she colonized some of their stories. She literally comes in and takes what should be theirs and makes it her own for her own uses. So I won't ramble anymore about it, but that's my PSA as a historian and archivist. Yeah. And I hate the way that she treats them sometimes in the books.
Yeah.
Because, you know what? Kim is beautiful in her own way. And as someone I don't know. I was reading it, and as someone that has some indigenous descent, and, you know, my husband is Asian, and, you know, it's like reading stuff like that is so shitty.
I may be saying this as your wife, but I think you're beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
I've never looked at you and went, she's not typically beautiful. No, you're beautiful.
Thank you.
Exactly.
And I think you guys are too. And I think writing stuff like this about women is just shitty.
I mean, honestly, what the fuck is typical anyway?
Literally, like, okay.
Typical is boring.
I just don't. That too, you know? I just hate to see this kind of shit on a page for young kids, or honestly of anyone, anyone of any age to read, you know? But the story of the spirit warriors is what's told in this chapter, and we don't need to go over it, but like I said, we can maybe like bring it back up if it's relevant. But it does highlight that they're not the traditional werewolves, that they're in the story. It starts off with them using their spirits to enter the wolf, which is a little different from most werewolf stories.
Yeah. I will say the only real comment I had about the stories, and I look at them as, I don't know if they're real, so in my mind, they're products of Stephanie Meyer's mind, and it reflects upon her.
Yes.
My complaint about this. But the story of the third wife. Why is she the third wife? Why can't she have a name? They remember the chief's name.
Yeah,
very true. Very true.
She's literally remembered by her relation to a man. And it's the same thing.
Very typical.
With the Volturi's wives. They don't get names.
Yeah.
That makes sense, though. Those people are fucked up.
Yeah, but it's sad.
I think it's a reflection of Stephanie Meyer and women.
Mm-hmm.
And their only importance is basically in regards to how they relate to a man.
And her sacrifice for a man.
Their sacrifice for a man. Like, this woman literally saved the tribe.
Mm-hmm.
But
do women turn into wolves? No.
And also, she doesn't even merit a name.
Yep. And I don't know, I just think that's interesting because she ends up saving the tribe, but it's not the women that are remembered for saving the tribe. Mm-mm. It's the men that turn into wolves. And I get it. They're supposed to be warriors, but I don't know. It's just like, I'm glad that later Leah turns into a wolf, because why wouldn't the women turn into wolves if it's just like something that's passed down in a bloodline? You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. But we certainly have plenty to talk about in the next section. So I think we can end it there unless we have anything else to discuss.
The only thing I have left to say is that Bella irritates me about the werewolves. She does not give them enough credit, and I feel like she views them as children, and she treats them as children. And so she doesn't respect their abilities at all. She's like, oh, yeah, obviously the vampires are going to win. Obviously. And that's why Jacob should not be outside her house patrolling, because he can't possibly stand up to a vampire, despite the fact that she knows that they killed Laurent.
Yeah. I know. She witnessed it. It's crazy. I also think it's funny that she dreams of herself in the role of the third wife that night. I think it's hilarious that she dreams that, because you are not going out of your way to save the wolves. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like there are a lot of people who do want to view themselves as, I'll protect you. And
yeah. I don't know about that, Bella. I don't know about that one. All right. Well, we'll end it there. We hope that you'll join us for next week's episode, and we'll be discussing Book 3, Eclipse, chapters 12 through 16. New episodes drop each week, and don't forget to check out last season's discussion on the Empyrean series, available now.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media. That like and follow are super important for us to continue to bring you new episodes each week, so please, please, please do so. You can also support us by joining us on Patreon. Thank you for listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. We'll see you next week.
Happy reading, listeners. Don't stay up too late.